to our very first day of our new series, Easy Weeknight Meals. So we're doing one every month for the next 3 months. So January today, we'll have one in February, and then I'll be teaching another one in March. Now, this is going to be the easiest, most simple one that you're going to get from us all year. Sorry, I have to take down my transcript real fast because that is distracting for me. So I really love this one because it is so easy, and I found it really helpful on the nights so that when I come home and then say on Mondays I get home at 7 p.m. and I have my toddler with me and I'm exhausted. I've been up since 5 and I don't want to be spending time on the stove, in the oven, chopping things, doing all the prep work. Basically, all the prep work is taken away. I'm going to go through everything that we're doing today. This is a 3-ingredient Farro chicken bowl. I'm going to give you guys the ingredient list and the instructions. There's about 42 people in on here already, so that's great. I'm going to wait until the end to add it because otherwise I have to keep adding it because not everyone would see it. So 3 ingredients you guys are going to get. That is, let me go over it real quick. You need farro, you need a Mediterranean mix, and then you need rotisserie chicken. So simple. So again, farro, Mediterranean mix, and chicken. Again, it's so simple. Now, if you don't know what farro is, I'm going to read this to you. It is an ancient grain. I'm going to read the back of the one that I have. Farro, known as the mother of all wheat, was so important to the Roman legion that it was sometimes used as currency. This ancient Mediterranean grain was and is still a staple food, prized not only for its taste, but also for its nutritional value. High in protein and fiber, it is easy to digest and can be enjoyed in a number of ways. Now, on the instructions I'm going to send you, you can get microwavable farro. That is not an option for me at my grocery store. Obviously, you get microwavable because you're trying to make it quick. This one I have, I'm going to put into water. Now, I already have my water boiling, so I'm going to go ahead and put this in the water as I continue on with the cooking demo and show you guys everything else. I just wanted to get that started because this has to sit in there for about 20 minutes. So what I'm going to do, I'm pouring this in. This one actually calls for butter as an option. I'm not going to use butter. I'm just going to add in a little bit of olive oil, about a teaspoon. Now I'm just going to mix that in. I'm going to put the top on, let it simmer. Let me check my instructions real fast. And that's going to be there for about 20 minutes. So I'm going to check on that towards the end. So my farro, this one that I got at the grocery store, what I love is that there's 2 other kinds that I can get. The flavor in here and what's actually already added in is butternut squash and kale. And it tells you that it cooks like risotto, if that helps at all. So at your grocery store, you just want to find a farro that you would probably enjoy. You can even buy the ones that don't have any flavor. Again, it just depends on what you have at your local store. All right. So let me cover this. I'm going to have it simmer. All right. So next thing, I'm going to talk about the Mediterranean mix that I got. My grocery store is H-E-B. I also have Trader Joe's. It's just further away. So it just depends when I go there. There'll probably be some other demos that we'll do this year where you can get ingredients at either or. Again, it really just depends where you live. I know if you're in California, you have a Trader Joe's, but down here in the South, H-E-B is our favorite. But I'm not sure about everyone else's grocery stores. So this Mediterranean mix that I got, I'm going to read you the ingredients. Now, this is going to cover all the vegetables that you need for a good meal. All right, so this has romaine lettuce, organic broccoli, organic carrots, organic red cabbage, organic cauliflower, and then it comes with a dressing. It's a basil balsamic vinaigrette. All right, so that is where I'm going to get my fats in. Now, whenever you're building a meal, I want you to think about getting 1 to 2 palmfuls of carb-dense protein. You need 1 to 2 fistfuls of vegetables. So you take your fists out like this, 1 to 2 fistfuls of vegetables. You need 1 to 2 hand cupfuls of healthy carbs, and then you need 1 to 2 thumbs of healthy fats. So whenever you're building breakfast, lunch, dinner, think of that. So whenever you're adding in olive oil, whenever you're adding in, your dressings, think about how much is appropriate for the amount of calories that you need. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just mix this into a bowl, super simple. And then I'm going to put this to the side. Now, if you don't want to add in the dressing, that is totally up to you. But again, you can make your own dressing. It just takes more time. Maybe you just add in a little olive oil because you have to cut calories. So this also comes with a cheese. I believe this is a feta cheese, Mediterranean mix. Sorry, I hate the sound of all the crinkling. What I'm going to do is I'm going to mix in my dressing first, and then I will add in everything else. I don't necessarily like to mix in everything at the beginning because it likes to fall towards the bottom, the cheese or anything else that you're adding in. So I'm just going to put that lightly on top. I'm not going to add all of it. Okay. So next, sorry, let me clean up my mess here. Real quick over here. I'm going to take my bowl, put it to the side. So while your farro is cooking, right, if you don't have the microwavable farro, we're now going to work on the chicken. Now, I bought a whole rotisserie chicken. It lasts so long. You guys are going to see me struggle to cut this. All right. So again, if you don't have the whole time, if you don't have a whole lot of time, you're not going to be, chopping this whole thing up, depending on how many you have to feed. It's only me, my son, who's a toddler, and my husband. So I usually don't cut up the whole thing at once, especially again, I just got home at 7 p.m. I don't want to be spending that time doing that. All right. One time in high school, I had to gut a chicken and fry it, cut it into pieces, fry it. It was a great experience. I don't know if you guys have ever done that in an ag class. All right. Okay, I'm gonna aim first for well, usually I just cut into the breast. I'm actually gonna cut off the legs first. Get that to the side. Every time I cut up a chicken like this, I think of my dad on Thanksgiving. All right, so I'm just gonna cut up some pieces that are gonna go on top. And remember, when you're building your bowl, you wanna think 1 to 2 palmfuls of protein, of healthy, dense protein. You wanna think of your lean meats. So that's one reason why I use chicken most of the time, maybe about once a week or less. We'll use dark meat, if that's for burgers, if that is steak. I'm going to pull up that portion guide just in a second after I finish cutting up this because we will have a little bit of time while that farro is cooking. And again, I buy the rotisserie chicken. That way I don't have to spend the time cooking it when I get home. We're thinking quick, easy meals. All right, I'm just going to cut up what's here a little bit more so then it's ready to go in the bowl. Always need a good knife. So quick is always great, but we want to keep it healthy. Give it a few more, and then I'm going to pull up our healthy portion guide for you guys to see. All right, let me put this to the side. I've got to rinse my hands real quick before I touch my laptop. Let's see, our Farro has about 12 minutes left. So what's nice is while that's cooking, you really can just be doing whatever you need to in the meantime. If you have kids, maybe that's tending to them, or whatever else you have going on. Maybe you're just watching TV and chilling. Can be either of those. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up a visual for you guys to see while we're waiting for the Farro. Let me share real quick. Ham portion guide. And I can also share this as well. Okay, so again, like we talked about, for protein, a palmful, 1 to 2. Again, it really depends. It's definitely going to depend on what your goals are, your body. When I say your body, I mean gender, age, again, goals, whatever you have. Vegetables, 1 to 2 fistfuls. Carbs, 1 cup of your hand, and fats, 1 thumb. So 1 to 2. This is just showing what 1 looks like. So in terms of protein, for me, I have a goal of getting 100 grams of protein in per day. About, even says it down here, this is helpful. A palm full of protein is anywhere between 20 to 30 grams. It's going to depend on how big your palm is that you're using to measure. And then for carbohydrates, 20 to 30 grams of healthy carbohydrates. Again, think brown rice versus white rice if you're trying to be healthy. Ancient grains are a great one. And then fats, you can think of oils. I try to stay away from butter. Not that I never use butter. I just don't use it as often as I use olive oil. So again, think of those fats when you are using avocado, which is really tough. I would spread so much avocado onto my food if I could and add it onto my tacos or whatever that I'm having. And then remembering that I just need 1 to 2 thumbs of fat for 1 meal. All right, so I'm going to stop my share real quick. And then in the chat, sorry, I'm going to add in the recipe too. Sorry, guys, I'm just now seeing those. Okay. Okay, someone had a question. How about protein-dense plant protein besides tofu? I see legumes considered as carbs. Yes. So I am not, I have never practiced eating plant-based. From my knowledge, right, you want to combine your building blocks of protein are amino acids. You want to make sure you're getting enough amino acids from each. So that's why I say you have rice and beans. They have a certain amino acids in them, and when you have them together, it makes a complete protein because one has, say, 5 and one has a different 5. They're actually 9 essential amino acids. Or they hummus and pita, that makes a complete protein. If you have, I think it's peanut butter and whole wheat bread makes a complete protein. So as long as you're combining those, you're going to reach your macronutrients for protein. The bones, I mean, sorry, the legs of those will definitely be used. All right, so I need to put the ingredients in here. Okay. Cooking demos. Order 1, cooking demo. All right. There are about 60 people in here, so I'm hoping everyone will get this. I didn't want to put it in and then have to keep uploading it. Let me know if it comes through for you guys, because I just hit enter, but I'm not seeing anything pop up. I can always email it out if it doesn't pop up. Or I'll
You could also
send
put it on
y'all.
a Slack channel.
That's true. I also have a link to our Google Drive, so I'm going to try that. Share. Copy link. Control V. All right. That will take you guys to the full instructions. All right, I'm going to check on the Farro real quick. We have about 6 minutes left. All right, so for my Farro, it's on simmer right now. And when it's done, I'm going to let it stand and I'm going to fluff it with a fork right afterwards.
I can open that PDF on the Google Drive, just so you know.
Good, thanks, Andrew. I appreciate that. Sorry, guys, I'm just going through all this chat that I did not see before. Farro is not gluten-free. Does anyone have a favorite ancient grain that you use, or a favorite carb that's your go-to? Would love to hear from you guys. If that's brown rice.
I use rice flour.
Lauren, can you say that one more time?
Cauliflower rice is what I've been using.
Okay.
Because I'm trying to keep it low carb.
Gotcha. Quinoa seems to be a lot of everyone's favorite. Brooke says love textured soy. Tempeh sometimes. Brooke, where do you buy your tofu?
I usually, if I'm cooking with tofu, I go to a local co-op here, just a grocery store that has good selection. And I've seen it at Trader Joe's before too.
Okay. Yeah, because I was wondering for tips if anyone who's like interested in trying tofu, but they're like, I don't know, where to buy it. So thank you.
Look at an Asian store.
Yeah, they have basically any, I think almost most supermarkets. So you find it at Aldi. So Aldi has organic tofu and it's like $2 a packet. So it's really cheap, and Whole Foods, of course, Walmart. So I think you find it almost everywhere, in the section where they have all like the vegetarian or vegan stuff. there's usually tofu there. Of course, also the Asian supermarkets, but I don't think you have to go to a specific place to really find it. So if you want multiple versions like the silk or the soft one and the firm one, then yes, maybe go to Whole Foods or that Asian supermarkets. But for the regular one, I think like basically anywhere, yeah. But you have to, I mean, they have a few in. It's not like on your face. You have to look for it.
Thank you. That's so helpful. Thank you, Isabel. Okay, so I'm going to check on the Farro real quick. And I know I said earlier, I just want to explain. I don't use the legs usually for this recipe, but we'll pull it out later. It just takes longer to cut it up. All right. All right. I got to mix this around a little bit because the bottom, you know, it likes to get stuck on the bottom a little bit. Okay, and I'll show you guys what this looks like as well. All right, I'm gonna unplug my computer and bring you guys over here with me. All right, so Farro's almost done, and you can see the butternut squash that's also in there, and the butternut squash and broccoli, maybe. This one, kale, butternut squash and kale that's in there. All right. I'm going to take it off the heat. I'm going to get my bowl back for my salad portion. I'm going to mix the Farro in here, and then I'm going to put the chicken on top, give it a good mix, and then I'm going to put it in individual bowls. All right. So we're almost done here. Ever since I started doing cooking demos, I'm thinking, man, I wish I had glass bowls, big glass bowls that I could do this in so you guys can see. Okay. We're almost done here, guys. Mix it around. So you can see this was quite simple. So easy. So you can do this recipe at home, right, with the exact same items that I use, or maybe you can get a little bit more creative with something that you have in your kitchen too. If that's maybe you already have cooked chicken that you made earlier in the week and you want to just throw it together. Maybe it is, you know, you have a different salad kit in your fridge that you haven't used, but you bought and you didn't know what to use it for. You just haven't used it yet. And then maybe you have some packages of some brown rice or maybe even it's quinoa or white rice that you have not used yet. So just getting a little bit creative with what you have. All right. I'm going to show you guys the final bowl. Sorry, I just have to move something out of the way. All right, so this is what we're working with. All right, so again, you can add as much chicken as you need. Like I can continue cutting the chicken until I have enough. Say my husband eats way more chicken than I do because of the amount that he works out. And then I'll cut some for the side for my toddler as well. So thanks so much for tuning in, guys. I'm probably going to put this in another small bowl, take a picture of it, and put it in the chat. Thanks for joining. Next time we do this, it's going to be the third Wednesday of February. I already know what we're going to be doing. It's going to be maybe like a little bit more work's going to go into it, but it's going to be a lot easier than some other recipes that you do. All right. Well, thanks for joining. I love doing this with you guys. Feel free to email me with questions or, you know, anything in the chat too. I'm going to pull that up real quick. I'm going to end this recording. Thank you so much for coming, and I will see you guys next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Shannon.
Thanks, Shannon.
Thank you.